Mr. Phys finds an old well during his daily walk in the woods. He wants to find the depth of the well, but he only has a stopwatch. Mr. Phys decides to drop a rock into the well and time how long it takes to hear the splash. He hears the splash of the rock 4.5 seconds after releasing the rock from rest. If the speed of sound is 331 meters per second, how deep is the well? The solution to any problem ultimately depends upon the givens lists. In this problem, there are two objects involved, the rock and the sound. So it will be separated into two different givens lists. The rock is dropped from rest, so the initial velocity is 0 meters per second. The acceleration of the rock, negative 9.8 meters per second squared. The displacement it moves is a negative, so it's negative d since we don't know it. The time we don't also know, so t is the variable we'll use. For sound, it travels at a constant velocity of 331 meters per second, which means the acceleration is 0. The displacement's vertical upward, so d equals d. We'll use d as our variable. Time, however, 4.5 seconds minus whatever the time was for the rock, so we'll use 4.5 seconds minus t. At this point, we start subbing the givens into the equation for each variable. The rock will use d equals vit plus 1/2 at squared. Don't forget to use the negative sign for the displacement. That will make sure the quadratic equation will ultimately be the correct terms. Once the units are subbed in, we'll simplify to have the equation negative d equals negative 4.9 t squared, two unknowns. The same thing's done for the sound. D equals vit plus 1/2 at squared will be used, and the givens will be substituted into the equation. 331 meters per second times the quantity of 4.5 seconds minus t. The 1/2 at squared term will be eliminated because of the 0 acceleration. This equation will then be simplified further into the following. D equals 1489.5 minus 331t. We have two equations and two unknowns, so we'll set the two equations equal to one another. As long as we use the negative sign for the d, the terms will work out properly. So we'll substitute these two equations into one another and have the following. Negative quantity, 1489.5 minus 331t equals negative 4.9 t squared. Further simplifying will reveal a standard quadratic equation format. Minus 4.9 t squared minus 331t plus 1489.5 equals 0. Using a quadratic solver, we'll get 2 times. One negative, 71.8 seconds, and one positive, 4.23. The positive term is what we'll use in this situation. Using the rock equation, the 4.23 seconds is substituted back in, and solving for d, the depth of the well is revealed as 87.7 meters.